In this demonstration, we're going to walk through FireBase, a Google Cloud Platform app. And FireBase, in the standpoint of infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service, is going to be grouped into the platform as a service category. Primarily used to create mobile apps, and I've used it personally, and this is actually an app I created myself. And I'm just going to go through a few of the statistics and stats on here, and then we're going to really focus a little bit about the billing aspect towards the end of it. But I just want you to see what a platform as a service interface looks like as it relates to Google. So if we look to the left, we see we have a lot of different options here. Now, I'm going to go over only the ones that I've used and give a quick description of each one of those. So we're just going to focus mostly on the Firestore, the real-time database, and the storage. And then we'll go to the billing on each one of those. But I just want to let everyone see the different options that are available. Okay, so there's different products and services, crash analytics, etc., etc. This would be more exciting if you were a mobile app developer, but these type of things are good for people who understand and do a lot with DevOps. Now, FireBase is primarily kind of like a backend as a service or like a mobile backend as a service because it primarily focuses on mobile applications. It's going to fall under the category app platform as a service or PaaS in cloud computing, as I stated earlier. Now, it provides a complete backend infrastructure for mobile and web apps. It means that we're able to just focus on building the application and only the front end part, like all the fun features, button clicks, how things move back and forth. And we don't have to worry about a lot of the server-side infrastructure management. Now, going over those three types of instances or services that I'm particularly using, the Firestore is like a cloud-based database, and it lets you store and sync data between clients and servers. Now, the biggest difference, if you're looking at the description, the Firestore versus the real-time database, honestly, they're very similar, but the Firestore has a lot more features that enables just an easier API or application programming interface to submit user data. And also, it's easier for references for HTML sites, uploading images from my own personal experience. But again, they're very similar in what they can do. A lot of the real-time database is going to be used mostly for NoSQL, meaning that there's not going to be a lot of structure to the data and you can structure it however you want. No tables and defined columns. You can put information in there as you see fit. And of course, the FireBase cloud storage is just like a cloud-based file system. And it just lets you upload files, images, videos, documents, etc. And it helps a lot when you're pulling that type of information into your application. So we see have stats about what's going on here. Have 143 kilobits worth of downloads. That's how much information has been stored. That's how many reads that I have for the current time period, which is between February 27th up until March 5th. But let's just go to the real-time database from the standpoint of just billing. All right, so we see here that we have connections, right? I love always going over the little question marks because it gives you a lot of good information about what's going on. And it's a very simple description of the number of simultaneous real-time connections to your database. So that's how many people can connect at the same time, which again, encourage data use. Now, if we go here, we go to the storage, we see I'm currently only storing 62.93 kilobytes of information. When you're doing a lot of back-end mobile development, when you're submitting information, a lot of these things is very small, minute data. You know, we just think of a few numbers, names, dates, etc. And again, so this metric is going to focus on how much data is stored in your database, not including the FireBase hosting or data stored through FireBase features. And the no cost limit per project here is 1 gig. So long as I don't have at least 1 gig, it is free. Okay, so it's good for people with small budgets. Now, next, if we're going to look at the downloads, we'll see downloads account for all the bytes downloaded from your databases, including connection protocol and SSL encryption overhead, over 1 minute intervals. And the no cost limit for this project is 360 megabytes per day. So that's how much data can be downloaded per day without incurring any cost. And if you see, with this free tier, it's very good for people who are just starting out in mobile app development or using some type of system and they don't have a lot of money to set up this infrastructure. Because I've had experiences before where we created an app and we're trying to figure out where we're going to store the information, what type of server we're going to have up, etc. We was actually going through the process of purchasing our own on-premise information, but then we realized, oh, cloud computing was at the time something that was kind of, it wasn't new, but it wasn't as wide used as today. And we saw, and if you look at here, all this stuff is pretty much free for a huge limit. And if you're a small company or you're a small app developer and don't have a lot of users, you get to test a lot of features and get a lot of firsthand experience before actually having to pay a big bill. So that's it for today. All I want to do is just cover with the interface of FireBase, see a few things and look at the billing and realize there's so much free data that's allowed to be used on these platforms. And then once you get integrated with their systems, that you're going to love it. And once you start expanding your customer base, you're going to start paying that percentage to them.